Hello everyone, welcome to Organizational Communication 201. This is the online session with Professor Blight. Hey, I just thought I'd go ahead and show you sort of a quick tutorial as to how to navigate D2L. Maybe it's your first time on D2L, or maybe it's your first time navigating through some of the content that we go through. So I'm just going to go ahead, and this is all written here. YouTube video is the placeholder text for when this gets published online. But let's just go ahead and look through, and again, you can rewatch this video and you can read through the content here. On the basic level, on a week-to-week basis, D2L is the main source of information that you'll use. And more importantly than that, the first thing that you'll see when you log on in D2L is this little bit right here, which is called the News tab. Perfect. Each week, at the beginning of the week, I'll post information that goes and corresponds to what we're doing for this week. And also, of course, we have the calendar that is right next to it to the right that corresponds with it, and a stock photo of me as well. So you get all the information on the very front page. For this week, we're really focusing on getting you acclimated to D2L. And so a lot of what you'll find in this particular class and all the information that you'll need is in the Content tab. And don't get overwhelmed, but when we're at the Content tab, it has on the left-hand side a table of contents, which is listed all the way here. For our purposes, what we're doing with week 1 is clicking Start Here. And when we get to Start Here, you can see that all the information is sort of parsed out and all of it's readily available here. We can go ahead and click the syllabus right here. And some of this will take a little bit longer to load depending on your computer and your internet speed. But eventually we will get the syllabus to show up here. And of course, if it says it's rendering slowly, you can click download here, you can click download here, and get everything readily accessible. So I want you to just go ahead, read through the syllabus. I won't go through all the pieces of it right now, but go through the syllabus, figure out exactly where the points are scaled from, how it is that you can find success in this class, the different presentations from the POQ to the persuasive to the mock interview, so on and so forth. You also want to register for a Zoom.us account. I had a little bit of trouble accessing this through my DePaul email, so you might want to use your Gmail or whatever else that you have. But let's go ahead. You can look at the syllabus in your own spare time. I just want to give you a quick introduction to D2L. So we go back to the Start Here tab, and here are some of the requirements or the expectations that we have with an online class. We want to make this as enjoyable of an experience as it would be maybe face-to-face, perhaps even better, because online allows us a certain amount of affordances that maybe face-to-face doesn't, and vice versa. But for our purposes, each week we'll have what we call modules, and each module corresponds to the week number. So for instance, week 1, we have module 1, week 2, module 2, so on and so forth. And each week when you click one of these modules, you'll see a lot of information, and hopefully it's not information overload. Some of the information that will remain consistent on a week-to-week basis includes, number 1, the actual learning objectives that we have for the chapter. And so all of this corresponds to the information that we'll be talking about, the information that we'll be covering throughout the week. And it also includes what chapters we're reading from the textbook. In addition to not only the learning objectives and the activities that we're doing, we're also going to look at some of the consistent information like the PowerPoint that's accessible. This is a PowerPoint that is completely providing the information from the chapter itself, in addition to a video review. And the video review is actually a little bit similar to what I'm providing you with right now. It is a video of me going through the PowerPoint slides, so let's just go ahead and take a look at the difference. But essentially me going through the PowerPoint slides and talking through the different components and the ideas that you should be thinking about when we're reading the text, when we're looking at this information. And again, this information is pertinent in a lot of ways, and I thought the video review is a good way to add a more human element to it. So if you click PowerPoint, hopefully the internet allows it and it goes through. But again, if it's loading very slowly for you, you can go ahead and click the download button here. But we'll just see the PowerPoint eventually come up. Document is rendering slowly. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And here we are. We have the PowerPoint for Chapter 1. So if you're a learner who just learns well reading the textbook and looking through the PowerPoint, you don't need the addition of me talking to you. Here you go. You have the PowerPoint example here. Or if you're someone who likes the auditory type of learning style, you like to hear me talk and walk through, you can go ahead and click the video review option right under it, and it is a YouTube video. You click right here. You can open it up in D2L, or you can go ahead and pop it into YouTube as well. No views, very sad, but you'll see I sort of go slide by slide and talk about the different ideas within this as well. Let's hop back. So we have the actual PowerPoint. We have the PowerPoint with a video review component of it, which is where I come in. We also have chapter notes, and chapter notes are due each week. Some weeks we have multiple chapter notes, but you'll see that if sort of rule of thumb, if you see that chapter 1 and 2 are due, or chapters 11 and 12 are due during module 7. I don't know if that's actually true, but let's use that as an example. You'll know that you have to provide chapter notes for the chapters that we're covering this week. So if we have one chapter, you only have one chapter notes. If we have 2 chapters, you have to do 2 of those chapter notes. The interesting part about chapter notes is that you can complete them one of 2 ways. The first way is you can go ahead and click the chapter notes and see this. You can download this, and you fill out the information from the actual textbook definitions or whatever definitions help you remember the information. And then you have pretty short writing prompts, about a paragraph and a half to each of the bullet points. So that's option 1. Option 2 is you scrap this note sheet entirely and you write a 1.5 page response to one or any of the concepts within class. So if, for instance, for module 1 we're covering chapter 1, and you're sitting there and you're reading through the different types of leadership and you go, oh man, I've worked 3 jobs, in each job. Job 1, I had an authoritarian leader. Job 2, I had a democratic leader. And job 3, I had a servant leader. It'd be great to sort of compare and contrast. You can absolutely do that. The purpose of the chapter notes is to help you synthesize and make sense of the information as much as possible. If that's accomplished by going through these pre-made chapter notes that I provided for you and you sort of responding to each of the prompts, great. If it's better served for you to actually just look at a couple of concepts and write a bunch, some of us are more inclined to be writers, you can go ahead and do that. Either way, you can just go ahead and post that onto D2L. And then finally, outside of those consistent items, we have a few items that will change week to week. For Module 1 in Week 1, we see 2 items in particular, the introductions and the syllabus quiz, that are unique to this module. We'll have 5 discussions in total. This is one of the 5. And so the introductions, for our purposes, is actually kind of similar to this video. You'll introduce yourself in a quick 2-minute YouTube video. You could talk about every basic bit of information, where you're from, what your hobbies are, what your major is at DePaul, and probably more importantly, since this is a business and professional communication class, what your career aspirations are. Why is it that you are enrolled in this class? What do you hope to get out of it? And we don't have to make it extremely formal. You can be yourself. Just be comfortable with practicing getting you in front of a camera. And if you're having any tech complications, let me know. Hopefully your laptop or someone else's webcam will be able to provide that. And then finally, we have the syllabus quiz. And the syllabus quiz, as you would imagine, is me trying to assess and make sure that you read through the syllabus and you understand the different implications, how it is that we are to succeed in this class, and so on and so forth. And then if you click Module 2 for Week 2, you see the same thing. We have another discussion. We have a resume that we'll turn in, but we'll get to that. We'll sort of cross that bridge when we get there. But ultimately, yeah, that is the grade system. That is the structure that we have within the class. It's a pretty quick overview. You can actually click the discussions individually instead of clicking the content for the modules, and you could see the discussions that we'll talk about, just as you can click the drop box and see all of the items in order with the dates to the right that you'll turn in and sort of scroll in and scroll in. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about how to navigate the course or maybe the structure of it, if you read the syllabus or you watch this video and you're more confused, I'm very sorry. Just let me know and we can figure out ways to hopefully help you navigate and make sense of all of this. Otherwise, welcome to the class. Hopefully, I'll be posting an introduction and a welcome video onto our discussions, just like you will as well, talking a little bit about myself and some of the odd quirks maybe I have. But yeah, feel free to email me. Feel free to reach out as much or as little as you think is helpful. The faster we talk and have these conversations, the better it is for us moving forward. Talk to you soon.